Be brave. I'm in the temple of Pan. And I know you can't be here in the physical, but I do invite you to be here in the spiritual. No. Light a candle or whatever you gotta do. So you will be here with me tonight. I need to have a very good connection with you. Psychically. Blessed be. But hey, isn't that fun?
Temple of Pan Pizza!
A diagram of your room substate. Be connected with you. I'm in the temple of Pan.
Extra cheese.
Light a candle or whatever you gotta do. So you will be here with me tonight.
No pineapple.
For the love of God, no pineapple.
I need to have a very good connection with you. Psychically. Blessed be. Believe me, I do know what I'm talking about. And I am crazy too.
Why?
The moon is full and the stars are aligned and the sky is an eerie black. It's the night of the biggest vampire on the hunt, on the attack. He spreads his wings as he takes from the air like smoke from a roaring fire, salivating for a little slice of that sweet carnal desire. On your marks, get ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go!
Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Pacific Northwest, out in the middle of the goddamn woods, it is TWO Stone. I'm Johnny.
And I am Marco, and welcome back to another Tuesday of us bullshitting around and doing whatever the fuck we feel like. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's a good time to be alive.
Conquering the podcast planet. So, there, folks. What do you say? What do you say?
The most desolate and desert podcast planets, but it's ours.
Holy shit. Do you know anybody that doesn't have a podcast?
I don't know, my dog.
God, I mean, just the amount of podcasts.
I know.
And,
it really is.
You know,
it really is that thing of like when you tell someone that it's gotten to the point where I ask someone, like, oh, hey, I have a podcast. Like, oh, you have a podcast? Yeah. It's like, oh, I also have a podcast. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, maybe we should hook up and do a show together. Like, no, I'm not going to do a show with you about Tonka trucks.
Yeah, but fucking Tonka trucks are about mining or whatever, or about like model trains.
God, and everybody goes, oh, you don't be listening. I go, you know, a lot of people listen to our goddamn show. We started from scratch.
Yeah, we started literally from nothing.
Both brand new Twitter sites, brand new everything sites. So we're doing really well because we got great listeners. Unlike you guys. You guys' audience sucks. Our listeners are awesome.
Yeah, we have listeners who listen and actually know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, I will not take any more gruff from any of you.
But here's the thing, though. When they do vocalize their opinion, that's when you know we fucked up, is when our silent audience actually says something. It's like, oh, shit, what do we do now?
Oh, yeah. When our Ian speaks up, I get nervous. We're here. It's Tuesday. It's Two Stone. We're here every Tuesday at 10 p.m. We are going to go through a journey tonight of what do you call that? Self-reflection, self-discovery,
meditation, self-reflection.
Marco and me tonight are going to give ourselves testicle exams because it is testicle cancer month. So we are going to grab our balls and see if there's any lumps on them. I hope you do too.
Well, I'm not even 30, so I'm pretty sure I don't have to check.
I don't know. Ask Tom Green about that.
Okay, but yeah, all right, fair enough. But I'm pretty sure last time I touched my nuts, I didn't feel anything weird, so I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
Yeah, my balls are spectacular. I checked them earlier in the shower. They're very round and more of an acorn shape though than they're not a round ball.
So is this what you do every year when it's Testicular Cancer Awareness Month? It's like, oh yeah, I gotta check that shit.
Yeah, I gotta grab my balls. I should just ask them in my house. I just none of the women
walking down the street with your hand down your pants, just be like, "Hey, it's Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Leave me alone."
And I asked the women, "Do they feel all right down there?" They're like, "Yeah, they're balls. I don't know." Asking a woman to check your balls. They're like, "Yeah, there's something inside of a bag. Yeah, what else do you need to know?"
What makes you think a woman knows what testicular cancer feels like?
But women think there's actually like round balls, but they're not round. They're more of an oval.
They're more like an oval shape, like a not a cashew, but like a walnut
or a rugby ball.
Yeah, something like that.
So, gentlemen out there, you grab your balls, take a good feel. I'm just thinking of our audience right now, touching their balls. It's not doing anything for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure most, if not all, of our audience is male anyway. So might as well jump in on that. Check your nuts, guys.
It actually is. We do have a lot of women listening, and I know you guys feel left out. So grab your titties, give them a good feel.
Yeah, why not? I'm sure. Breast Cancer Awareness Month was a few months ago, but fuck it, check it anyway.
And if you're in the Las Vegas area, you can stop by my place. I'll grab your titties. You grab my balls. We'll say, we'll write a paper about it. All medical.
We got rubbing alcohol and rubber gloves. It'll be completely sanitary.
Yes, but during rectal cancer month, stay the fuck away from my house. I don't want to look in your butt.
Is there a rectal cancer awareness month?
There should be, for Christ's sakes. I hate rectal cancer.
Isn't that also this month?
I think so. I think we'll put them together, rectal and testicle month.
Why not? They're right next to each other. Might as well get that whole area.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Yeah.
So tonight we're smoking marijuana. I'm smoking a little bit of the First Class Funk again. It's a good broadcasting weed for me.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty consistent for you.
Unlike last night, where I got fucking blitzed out of my goddamn skull. Jesus Christ!
It worked. It worked out fine.
So we did the show last night.
Yes, on my Twitch channel at MarcoV193, where we continued our playthrough of Mass Effect 2. But yes, go on.
And so we get done.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I did. I smoked some more weed. It's like I went to the bathroom. I came back. And I'm like, when the fuck is he going to send that goddamn invite?
Maybe that just tells me you wanted to play the game again. You had so much fun that you wanted to keep going subconsciously.
I literally don't remember much from the game last night. It went so... I don't remember doing it. And I'm a little scared.
Well, that's why it's on my Twitch channel. So that if you're like Johnny and you forgot, that you could go and check it out for at least another week.
The programming is 1,000% awesome. I mean, check this out.
Nothing personal, just business, I swear.
It was just a goof. Listen, man, it was just a joke. I shot you in the head. It was like a funny haha, I could have killed you kind of joke. It was just a goof. A goof.
That was a great way to end the stream.
It really was. That was the best scene in the history of video games last night. Oh, no. The greatest end of a video game segment of all time. And that triggered me. So now I started... It started coming back to me slowly but surely. Thank God.
Yeah, I noticed you were cackling pretty good at that, so I was like, all right, I'll definitely have to clip that for sure.
Speaking of cackling, the biggest cackle of Johnny's career.
Oh, yeah?
It doesn't want anything to do with us. So, also, Dubnug says, why Shepard got dog nipples?
I mean, those are totally dog nipples.
That's something I will not unsee now for the rest of the night.
No, I'm gonna have to change it now. That does look like fucking...
Oh my God. You didn't take precautions?
Considered that before.
Get on a neck, Sim.
We were just staring at fucking Shepard's chest for like a solid minute, just because of that goddamn comment.
So, even if you don't like video games like me, you should check out our Twitch stream or his Twitch stream, not mine. I'm not involved with it. I'm just a cackling geek in the background. Mondays, 10 p.m. on Twitch. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of why I like what we do. Is that like, obviously I've played this game before and I'm steering the ship more or less, but it's mostly just me and you fucking around.
Yeah, so people that like video games, it's there. People that don't like video games, it's there. It's a good night of rafts and rigmarole. What is?
Rafts and rigmarole.
I don't know what rigmarole means.
Rigmarole is like a fancy word for like a routine, or
Yeah, the whole rigmarole.
yeah. I'm not entirely sure what it means exactly, but I think that's what it means.
I catch my shit. I catch myself saying stupid shit like that all the time. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. But we all say it.
Well, yeah. If you're probably like me, where you pick up random words from like TV or movies or something, and you hear it used so often, where you're just like, oh yeah, I know how to use this word. I don't know what it means, but I know how to use it.
That and a whole 10 yards. You're like, what? What? Whatever, bro. Whatever. I am really getting to the point where I just do not want to talk to people when I'm out. Just a normal everyday society, because it seems like people you want to talk to don't talk, and it's just the people that you never want to talk to that I want to come up and start chatting with you.
Yes, that is always the fucking case.
And why am I Tragedy Johnny?
What do you mean? You've been Tragedy Johnny for a hot minute.
I don't know what says on my face when I'm waiting at Starbucks to get my coffee that says, hey, why don't you come up and tell me about what cancer you have and how your whole family died? Why don't you please come up and tell me that?
Who the hell is coming up and trauma dumping on you?
Everybody, every single time I leave the goddamn house, somebody's trauma dumping all over my ass, and I'm like, what do I look like? I'm like I give a fuck. I mean, I have gotten really good at pretending I'm paying attention to people while in my mind I'm coming with show ideas.
Yeah. Well, it's very easy to carry a conversation and just zone out, but it does get to a point where you do it so often where you're just like, I'm actually getting bored pretending to listen.
It's like, can I at least know your name before you tell me that you're going in to get your leg chopped off tomorrow? Could you at least, or that your son died today on the way to work? Why do I need to know? Fucking therapist Johnny out in the fucking wild.
I don't know, man. Maybe you just got a trusting face. People look at you and be like, hey, you know what? I feel like this guy can understand my pain. But in reality, he's like, no, this is the last person that you should talk to about your problems.
I just, I want to be a cold asshole.
Yeah, but it's easy, but it also is very, very tough.
I mean, I think I found the coldest asshole on the planet this week.
And who would that be?
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, you! I can't hear you. I don't know. I broke my neck. You broke your neck?
I broke my
Call an
neck.
ambulance? I'm doing a live stream. If I do that, I'll have someone call. Hey, call an ambulance, somebody, for this guy. 7th Avenue and 39th Street. He needs an ambulance.
Somebody who's watching my stream, you guys call an ambulance.
7th Avenue.
That's how ambulances
North
work.
39th Street, Tampa, Florida. So it's East 7th Avenue and North 39th Street. He's at the bus stop. He's on the north side of the street at the bus stop. He said he broke his neck.
There was there literally was 4 people watching his stream at the time. He would have lost 4 eyes on his show. I don't want to interrupt the stream.
Wouldn't interrupt the stream for someone who broke their goddamn neck for 4 people watching. I got 2 people that watched our fucking Twitch stream.
I would have probably just shut it down, maybe help somebody out and go, hey, we're going to check on this guy with a broken neck.
Yeah, I would have just said, like, this guy broke his neck, apparently. Talk to you guys later and end the stream. It's not that fucking tough.
And later he goes, oh, they were homeless. Well, I guess if you don't have a home and you break your neck, I guess we don't need to send you help.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because obviously a homeless guy knows how to get to the hospital with a broken fucking neck. He's got no car.
What has happened to us?
What do
20
you
years, the whole society. If 20 years ago there was a lady laying on the ground with a broken neck, not only would there be 18 calls into the police, there'd be 30 people around trying to help out, going, oh my God, no. And now it's just like, oh, fuck that homeless piece of shit. Goody. I'm glad you got a broken neck. But if there was a goddamn dog laying there with a goddamn broken neck, you know, there'd be thousands of people helping the dog out. But if there's a lady now, fuck humans, right?
Well, yeah.
We've become so calloused that we think anybody that a stranger now that comes up and talks to us is trying to rip us off.
Well, yeah, especially if you live in an area like Vegas or Los Angeles or, like a super densely populated area. It's like, well, yeah, I can't really blame some people who are thinking every time someone's coming up to you and says something nice to you, you think it's a goddamn scam.
Yeah, it's like we live in a big area. We don't talk. You don't talk to anybody. That's the rule now.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time you talk to somebody is if they are like your friend or your direct relative or you absolutely need to. That is it.
But not me. Not me. I got to talk to them all. Anyways, we are live tonight. We want to get in on the action tonight. Like our buddy Third Mike Pause. Sorry, buddy. I've been high. He is here, LOL. He's outside checking the moon. That's right. We got a blood, or what is it tonight? An orange moon or a...
I think it's a strawberry moon.
Strawberry moon.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out once we're done here.
Pull up the smoke break screen for 5 minutes to talk. Back in the day, you get hurt. Is there a doctor in the house? And usually somebody in the 50-mile radius would run right to you. Exactly. Like we used to help people, and now we don't.
Well, yeah, because of it's the system that we have now, where even if you call an ambulance to help somebody, well, you could potentially be fucking them over because you had to call an ambulance, which means they had to pay for the ambulance, but if they can't pay for the ambulance, then they could potentially fucking sue you for trying to help them. It's happened before.
I know. It's crazy. It's just very sad. And you know what? I'm just a stoner that sits around and goes, why can't everybody be nice? Well, Johnny, not everybody's high.
Yeah. Yeah, not everybody's chill. Not everybody's high. Not everybody has a understanding sense of mind. Trust me, it's very easy to keep yourself locked away and just think about yourself. It's very, very much easier. But unfortunately, we live in a society where a bunch of people are just narcissistically obsessed with themselves to the point where they would rather just film somebody dying rather than help them.
I mean, Hunter Strawberry Moon, something. Yeah, I know. My ex-wife used to throw the crystals out into the fucking yard or whatever and charge them up, and I'll do all that bullshit. I think she's cursing me now, but weird things have been happening.
So if it's not your business partner, aka Satan himself, it's one of your ex-wives.
Exactly, coming after me. There's no way to fix anything. So I guess we just kick back, relax, and watch the fucker burn down, like George Carlin told us to do years ago.
Yeah, what the hell do you expect me to do, man?
I mean, we all want to help. There's a group of us that want to help. We paid $100. They did that concert. for all the LA fires. Foo Fighters, everybody came out and did a big concert and raised $100 million.
How'd that go?
Not one person got the money.
Of course not.
The lady that was giving out the money got paid $1 million to give out money. They gave all the money to charities that had nothing to do with the fires. That one person received $1 from that $100 million that all the musicians wasted their time. All the musicians showed up for free, by the way. The chick gave the arena for free. Sound guys, everybody did it for free to raise this money just for them to give it to rich people. And that's why we don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
I'm off my soapbox tonight.
Well, it's not just that charity event. It's with like a vast majority of fucking charities and charity events where it's just like it's some loophole kind of thing where they're just like, oh yeah, we'll donate to charity, but they donate like 1% of the money that they actually make, and then they pocket the rest of it. Where there's like, oh no, look, see, we donate to charity. See, we've made contributions.
Yeah, we gave them 10%, and everybody else in the office is getting 6-figure salaries. It's like, well, why am I giving you money? You're not helping anybody.
Yeah, it's a non-profit organization. What do you think non-profit means?
I mean, there's a lot of people that are hip to it now because they'll go out and just get a fucking Ryder truck, fill it up full of water and shit, and drive it to them themselves.
Yes.
That's where we've gotten to. Before, we used to give a bunch of money. The government would load up trucks with food and shit. They would be there in a half hour. But now the government's done.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
I saw a thing on charities. The only charities that actually, when you give to the charity, 100% goes to the charity is St. Jude's Hospital, Doctors Without Borders, and the Shriners give 100% of everything to help burn victims.
I mean, good. I mean, at least somebody's getting the money.
I didn't know what the Shriners did until I started looking into charities this week, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys are good guys.
Yeah, they actually do something. They're goofy, but they have a purpose.
Yeah, I just thought they were guys that got drunk and drove go-karts at parades. I thought that was their only thing they did in life.
Yeah, I thought it was just some stupid tradition thing.
I really want to be a Shriner so bad.
Why?
Go-karts.
So?
Go-karts, helping burn victims and riding go-karts? I mean, isn't that not the greatest thing on earth?
Yeah, but you're driving the shittiest go-kart ever made. It's a go-kart that was made for parades.
And you get to be the last remaining man to wear a hat with a fez on it.
You can go on Amazon and get a fez for $10.
So you're saying maybe it'd be better off if I just went and got my own go-kart, my own hat, and just drove around in my driveway?
I mean, get some practice in, maybe. But see, that's what happened was you get some practice in by going up and down your block, wearing the hat and practicing, and then that's when there's like another Shriner that pulls up and just pulls out like a fucking 9mm and just unloads it to you.
So you fucking impersonating a Shriner, you bitch? You're going down, bitch. Nobody fucks with the Shriners.
Obviously, you forgot whose neighborhood you're in, son.
It's a weird group of dudes. It's a weird club. I don't think we have, there's not much left of clubs anymore like that, or it's just like men only.
Ham radios.
Okay, yeah. I mean, when I think I'm pathetic doing these podcasts, I look at the ham radio guys. I'm like, okay, I'm above that, a step above that.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, ham radios are sort of crucial to this country.
That's the only piece of information we'll have that's up and running.
Right. When society collapses and everything goes to shit, the people who have ham radios will be able to control communication.
Oh my god. A lot of the donation places only donate 7 cents or less out of $1 that's donated. The rest goes to the employees. Yeah, I mean, fuck this country. Done.
Do you think this country's the only one that does this shit?
I'm just done with the greediness and the people scamming people for money constantly.
That's never going to change.
If he had a Shriner's go-kart, he would... We're talking about pause third. I should probably mention that before I start talking to the people listening and not watching. I had a Shriner's go-kart. I would style it like the DeLorean back from the Back to the Future. You know why? Because he's badass. That pause guy. Badass. Badass.
You get some, you like get like a Febreze and a lighter and you just blow it behind you as you drive past people.
Febreze. Oh God, what a I'm trying not to talk about what's going on. We probably should just get into it real quick and get out of it. But what the fuck's going on with the ICE agents?
Oh, the ICE agents and the fucking Marines. Like,
I mean, it's like they have to get 3,000 deportations a day now. That's the quota. So now they're just, I guess, cruising. They were cruising the parking lot of the Home Depot looking for illegal immigrants. Oh my God.
I mean, evidently it's going fucking great. They had to call in the military. Just like, oh my God, we're here to get all these immigrants. Turns out it's even worse than we thought.
There's 8 of them out here looking for work.
There's so many of them. I was blind until now.
I have no opinion whatsoever.
Well, me neither, but that's because I'm not in Los Angeles, nor will I ever be in Los Angeles.
I just don't, this immigrant, like I keep saying, let them stay. Wouldn't it just be easier to let them stay and just know who everybody is finally and just not let anybody else in? It's like, all right, we're full. We're locking the door. Come on in. You can be a citizen. We're going to charge you an extra tax for 10 years, get some money off of you because that makes Americans happy. Huh?
That's what a visa is.
Let's just give everybody a visa and get over this. It's been going on since I was a kid. So I was 5 years old. I remember immigration bullshit. Enough is enough. You're going in and shutting meatpacking plants down. Yeah, I don't want to spend $18 for a goddamn hamburger.
So instead of giving people a living wage, you would rather that they would hire immigrants to make the food cheaper, as opposed to what they should be doing, which is making the goddamn food cheaper.
Yes. I have no problems. I have 0 problems with any Latin American person. I've never had a problem with them personally in my entire life. Never had a problem. They've always been really cool. Every time I hang out with Latin dudes, they're fun. They like to party. I've never been around bad Latin people. They're all loving, family-related people that go to church every Sunday. I kind of want those people in our country. I don't know. They're kind of like the last good people we have left here.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about the Latin Americans in this country is that I remember way back when cancel culture was really on the fucking rise. They went after Speedy Gonzalez because they said it's like, it's a fucking It's an insulting interpretation of Mexicans. You need to get rid of it. And literally every Mexican was like, "You shut the fuck up right now." Like every single Mexican I ever knew was just like, "No, we fucking love Speedy Gonzalez. What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah, I mean, every Mexican snorts coke and chases pussy all day. I mean, it's not far off. Pause says the police should reprocess against the protesters and educate sign information. RE protest. I protest protests.
How would that work? You just show up at a protest with your own sign that said, "You guys look stupid."
Yeah, I hate protesting. It's like watching wrestling.
Yeah, except people actually get shot
with rubber bullets. It's not going to kill them.
No, it's not going to kill them. It's going to hurt like a motherfucker.
I'm going to take an eye out.
Actually, I was talking with one of my Aussie buddies because they were talking. Of course, it was in the Australian news that Australian woman reporter who got hit with a rubber bullet.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Sky News.
Yeah. She got hit with a rubber bullet, and he told me that like there was a bunch of people in Australia that were like demanding to know who that guy was. And there's like so many Australians were like, "I'm gonna fly over there and kick his ass," and he's just like, "What the fuck do you mean you're gonna fly over there and kick his ass? He's gonna fucking shoot you, you goddamn idiot!"
Yeah, we don't play.
No, we don't fucking play, dude. They forced him to use rubber bullets. I guarantee you, they forced him to use rubber bullets.
I don't understand the whole thing. It's like, fuck ICE, we're protesting. The cops come out, move. All right, they move. Then they start again at the block up, and the cops go, "Get the fuck out of here!" It's the same thing over and over again. I'm surprised. Don't you find this shocking that not one person has brought a real gun to any of this?
Well, it's California, so if you did bring a gun to a protest and you got taken by the cops and they found a gun on you, you're fucked. So
I know you're fucked, but you would think there'd be a few crazies out there that finally, just said fuck it.
I'm sure they were, and they were just waiting for the right moment for chaos to ensue. When the military and the police officers started popping off, I'm sure there were a few of them were like, "All right, now's my chance,"
Well, I'm just sitting here watching them. Like, let's get some real action. I want to see the Marines gun down like 200 people on the street. Let's just end it once and for all. We're like, "Oh, you want to go out and protest? All right. Well, we're just gonna murder you." And you're like, "Okay, well, I think we're gonna stay home today."
So you want this to be a fascist dictatorship?
Why not? I mean, we're already halfway there. Let's just go all the way, right?
We're just doing diet fascism. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. Let the kids play out there. These damn kids, these Antifa hired kids. It's like a game, though. I mean, every protest is the same shit. There's not. They go and steal some Nikes. They break some windows, fire gas, tear gas goes. It goes for like 3 or 4 days, and then it's over.
Well, yeah, but they also destroy like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of property for no goddamn reason.
There is no reason. And it's just, I don't know. It's just like, it's a reason, any reason to go out and fuck shit up we're going to use now.
Yeah, I'm sure that there is. It's the same problem that I think that's been going on ever since, like you said, ever since you were a kid or before we were even born, was that I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are obviously very unhappy and they want to show their frustration and their discontent about this decision. However, I feel like there's also a vast majority of those people who are just looking for an excuse to go fucking nuts.
Well, exactly. Free Nikes. Nikes are worth some money, man. You get some free Jordans, get some free shit.
Yeah, you know they're fresh because it's got broken glass on them.
It's like they're not going to arrest me. I could go in. They might arrest me later on. I better put something over my face. So, I mean, you're sitting there at home. You got your boxes of Nike sitting there. Are you happy?
Obviously not. You broke into a store for a pair of shoes. Obviously, life isn't great for you.
Now, you know when you wear those shoes, your life is cursed. When you wear stolen shoes, it's a curse. Bad shit will happen to you.
Well, yeah, but the entire point of stealing something isn't to keep it; it's to make money. Is to get rid of it so that you have money. So yeah, if you steal the shoes and you wear them, then yeah, you're a fucking moron. You sell the shoes so that guy gets arrested
For receiving stolen goods. What do you mean? I just bought some shoes from a guy. How am I supposed to know they're stolen?
Yeah, what was his name? Terrence?
G-Dog. He said it was G-Dog. I don't know where.
Yeah, and then they come looking for me, and you're like, G-Dog? Do I look like a G-Dog to you?
My name's Nelson.
Yeah, my name is literally Nelson. Where the fuck did you get G-Dog from?
I'm Nelson Poindexter.
Dr. Poindexter.
The military can set up a magic wand, so to speak, with the sonic weapons to make everybody sit down and listen. They just haven't gone and done it yet to completion. Why? It's beyond me. I know they can literally, with just noise now, they can literally paralyze you.
Well, I imagine because with those sonic weapons, if you tried to unleash that into a city, it would shatter fucking windows and destroy fucking cars.
That is true. Much like when they did the Jewish space lasers on the Twin Towers. And all those cars, the windows blew out from around them.
So I'm pretty sure it was the fucking planes, dude. I'm pretty sure it was planes.
Oh, okay. I don't think so. That was all holograms.
Okay. Do you want to know how I know 9/11 wasn't an inside job?
How do you know?
Because the planes came from the outside, dumbass.
I believed everything until one point was brought to me.
What's that?
If these guys are hardcore Islamic guys, right?
We're talking about like Muhammad Atta and all those hijackers.
Yeah, all the hijackers are so into religion that they are willing to take their own lives. But yet, they were snorting coke, drinking alcohol, and making love to the infidel weeks before the incident. Those are not Muslims.
I'm sure that they came from a Muslim country and they probably grew up in Muslim households. But no, they were fucking freedom fighters. They were terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, of course they were fucking high as shit. You think that they were gonna pull that shit sober?
But you being, as religious, you should be sober. They were also eating meat, I heard, that wasn't killed in a proper way. They were eating ribs at the strip club.
Yeah. So what if you believe that your sacrifice is for the greater good and you believe that your sacrifice is so great that you would willing to risk going to your version of hell for it?
That is true. That is true. Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe it was real. Maybe it did happen.
Well, my thing is that I do believe the story of like, yes, it got hijacked and it crashed into the buildings, and yes, it did happen. However, my thing is that I think that we knew it was going to happen and we just let it.
I think so too.
You know what I mean?
Dick Cheney made so much money. I mean, like ridiculous amounts of money. I hate to get political, but that goddamn George Bush ruined our country forever. Hasn't been the same since.
I don't know why you're blaming just George. Herbert Walker Bush didn't really do us any favors, even before he was fucking president.
No, that fucking dirty CIA bastard.
Exactly.
When people really know what he did, they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Well, of course you don't, because you believe everything you hear.
Well, also when he was head of the CIA, that was like 50 years ago. So of course that's not common knowledge.
Yeah, nobody knows anything, and that's the hilarious thing of modern living. Nobody
knows these things because nobody fucking cares.
I was talking to a guy today. I'm like, "Hey, you remember that racist chick?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The racist chick that called the kid the N-word in the playground, and she got all that money." And he's like, "Oh, I fucking forgot about that already." I'm like, "It was 10 days ago." We literally don't retain anything. We have so much information, I think, coming into our brain right now that we don't retain a fucking thing.
Yeah, that is one thing I heard from quite a few people from different forms of media outlets, from like video games or TV shows or whatever, where there's like, it's very hard to make, in the times that we live in, it's very hard to make things that are relevant, because things that are relevant can last from an entire year to 15 minutes.
It's crazy. Nobody remembers anything. It's like we got that wand that waved in front of our eyes, like for Men in Black.
Yeah, that the memory wipe flashing thing.
Yeah, it took our memories.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that they took our memories. It's just that we cram our heads with so much useless shit.
All day, man. All day. It's useless shit. Like, even when you scroll, like when you go on and watch some videos on TikTok or whatever, I'll ask myself, dude, what did you just watch for the last hour? Tell me 3 things. I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah, everyone just fucking. I believe the term that's used now is doom scrolling, where you just aimlessly and blindly scroll through your phone, not retaining anything, because you're just like, well, I guess this is just what I'm doing now.
Yeah, and it's like the same old shit. You get stuck in these fucking algorithms. I can't get out of this goddamn Dabbleverse goddamn algorithm. I blocked everyone. Videos still show up.
You might need to make another account just for watching.
I think so, just for watching my YouTube.
Yeah, just so that you can watch YouTube with a clean slate.
Oh my god! So I don't know. I don't even know what I would like be so strongly into that I would go and try to fight cops.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would depend on the cop, but if we're talking about the cops that are down there, where they are like a literal white riot squad, is like, no, those guys get paid to fuck you up.
Yeah, they're trained.
Yeah, they're literally trained. They're not like beat cops. They're not street cops that are like munching on fucking donuts, or they got some fucking bitch that's 5'5" for some reason. It's like, no, these are guys that are trained to suplex you and fucking curb stomp you if they have to.
These guys went through all the trouble of putting all this shit on. They're going to use it.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite fucking. I think I've brought this up on the show before. I don't remember. It was a joke that fucking JB Smoove had, that fucking killed me when I first heard it. Where he's just like, you see all these videos of police like chasing down motherfuckers, and they like tackle them to the ground and they shove their head into the ground. You think, man, do you really have to be so aggressive? Do you really have to be so mean about it? And then you really think about it. I kind of get it, because think about it. You pull a guy over and you get out of your car and you just have all this shit just weighing you down every day. You got your handcuffs, you got your gun, your taser, your ticket machine, your ammo. Like, you got all this shit that's just on your belt weighing you down constantly. You get out of your car and this dude just gets out of his car and books it. And you just sit there and go, this motherfucker is really going to make me chase him with all this shit on my belt.
How do they catch him all the time?
They're fit as fuck, man. They have to. They have to, like, the only time, like, the only thing I can think of is like they have to wear like weighted vests when they train. That's got to be it.
But half them guys are fucking fat as fuck, and they're still fucking hauling ass, and you're like, God damn, dude. They always catch them. They always get you. I don't know. Every once in a while, a guy will sneak out, but they put the dogs on you. When them dogs come out, you're fucked. You're done. You ain't gonna outrun a dog.
No. I literally saw a video the other day that had me fucking dying, where these guys were chasing some crackheads, and they ran into the woods, and one of the cops had a bright idea where they were just like, "Hey, we know you're out there. They'll make me sick the canines on you," and he just started barking like a fucking dog. And he just started imitating like a fucking German Shepherd barking, and he's like, "Oh, no, see, we got him. We don't make us send him out." And sure enough, the crackheads were like, "Okay, we're coming. We're not fucking with that." Now, on one hand, yeah. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, you got tricked by a dude pretending to be a dog, but at the same time, if I was in that scenario, I probably would have done the same fucking thing, where I'm just like, listen, either they have a dog and they're going to fuck us up, or they don't have a dog and they're bullshitting us. Either way, I'm going to pick the option that lets me walk away with all my fingers.
Yeah, fucking them dogs don't fuck around.
No, especially German Shepherds. German Shepherds will definitely fuck you up. Which is wild to me that for the longest time that Rottweilers used to be police dogs.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get why you would want a Rottweiler for a police dog. But compared to German Shepherds, like, yeah, they're not as what's the dexterous.
Vicious.
They're not. Yeah. Oh, no. Rottweilers can be vicious if they want to, but they're just dense. You know what I mean? They're just really heavy dogs. German Shepherds can fucking jump through a goddamn window of a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it seems like if I had a choice between getting attacked between a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd, I'm going to take the German Shepherd. I'm going to take my chances. Yeah. An old German Shepherd.
Yeah, the German Shepherd will bite you hard enough that it will at least fuck up your arm. But that's the point of the canine, is that it's supposed to distract you and bring you down enough for them to come and arrest you. A Rottweiler will literally shatter your fucking bones.
Yes, and not stop till he's eating you.
Yeah. It just keeps chewing and it does not stop until it's told to.
I always loved the guys that would volunteer and put that giant fucking couch around their arm, like the couch pad around their arm, and run and have the. I'm like, what kind of psycho volunteers for that?
I mean, somebody's got to do it, right?
Paz brings up a good point. What if somebody breaks into a genetics lab and releases a zombie virus? Well, me and Marco are prepared. We play every Monday night. at 10 p.m. over on Twitch, Mass Effect, and we are practicing on killing zombies over there. Or
yeah, sci-fi alien zombies. But yeah, they're already trying to do that. We're trying to stop it, but we're doing the role reversal.
I think the zombie virus has already been leashed in the drug called fentanyl or meth.
See, do you remember when everybody thought that the zombie apocalypse was happening because of fucking bath salts?
Yeah, that guy ate that guy's face in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody thought the zombie apocalypse was happening, and there was literally fucking like gun and ammo manufacturers that were like selling like zombie bullets, where like the casing looked like rotten flesh, just because of that shit. And like, what the fuck is even happening?
Oh my god, zombies! There's been so many zombie movies. You think that's actually going to happen?
Well, I mean,
Like-
it's based. I mean, the whole zombie thing is based on like voodoo fucking shit that's been Hollywoodized to fuck at this point. But yeah, it's happened enough to like even the White House in our country has a contingency plan for if there is a zombie apocalypse.
Looks like there's one going on in LA right now.
Yeah, they're testing it out.
So I was watching Jimmy Kimmel a little bit earlier. I
Why would you
know.
do that to yourself?
He's a lib, and he's this and that, and he showed a
I
picture.
mean, I wasn't gonna say that. I just don't think he's funny. But go on.
I think out of all of them, he's the funniest. But
that doesn't mean he's funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's up against Seth Meyers and the Tonight Show, whatever that fucking Orange Peel's name is, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Hey guys, everything great? Isn't everything great? Isn't it great? It's so great, ain't it? Hey, it's great.
I'm still amazed that that guy ended up getting that fucking gig.
I can't believe he still has it.
For real?
Stephen Colbert, I forget he even has a show. That is beyond watchable.
Yeah, that's it's definitely for a certain kind of person, but not
I
me.
think it's for like 60-year-old like liberals, maybe. I don't know.
It sounds about right. Like the boomers that are on Facebook, but the ones that are either very vocal about how liberal they are, or they keep their mouth shut about how liberal they are.
And then I don't even want to talk about that Fox show that is the number one comedy show, apparently, the Greg Gutfeld show.
I have no idea what that is.
It is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Everybody thinks this guy's funny, and I'm like, this is funny, huh? You ever involved in something where everybody likes it and you're just sitting there by yourself going, what? I don't understand. This sucks. Why does everybody like all of this?
Dude, that's basically every day of my life whenever anybody tries to show me music. Like anybody my age tries to show me music, or there's like, oh yeah, there's this new album that came out by such and such. You should check them out. And I listen to it, and then I get back to me. It's like, so what'd you think of it? I'm like, I hated it.
Yeah, it has no heart, no soul.
Yeah.
It's
real
generic.
Yeah. Literally everything about it was made by a computer. And also, I did some research on the album, and it turns out it was made by 6 different executives that made the same music for every other pop musician for the last 20 years. So it all sounds the same.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with no.
No, I love rock music. You know me. I'm a classic rock Johnny, they call me. I can't listen to Octane. I can't. I can't. It's supposed to be modern rock. This is what's the new rock and roll. It is so fucking heartless and bad. I don't know what else to say. Everybody's
Yeah.
depressed. Oh, I'm a fuck up. Here's every song. I'm a fuck up. Better stop drinking. I'm a fuck up. Hey, baby, if I stop doing this, will you come back to me? And it's like, this isn't rock and roll. This is fucking pandering to, I don't even know, teenage girls, maybe? I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what all this stupid shitty music is pandering to, is fucking teenage and 20-year-old girls. Who do you think listens to all this shit? Do you think that, like, the literal millions upon millions of people who listen to Taylor Swift, do you think that even 25% of that audience is men?
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm
No.
saying.
But I just don't. I'm trying to think who some of the newer bands are that I don't know. I keep forgetting their names. I was listening to
Yeah.
today, and there was like every band sounded like fucking Nickelback. I mean, like, every fucking band is the same fucking thing. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we put like a fucking loop underneath the verse, and we'll do big, heavy, open chords for the chorus, and then we'll have some kind of like electronic breakdown in the middle, and then we'll have a very lame guitar solo, and then we'll go out with the chorus every fucking song today. And it's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's because they're trying to make something that sells. They're not trying to make art. They're trying to make a product. And if you're trying to make a product, there's a formula and cookie cutter bullshit you have to follow.
I just, it's doomed. Doomed. Music is doomed. Really. And maybe it's just because I'm old and but I don't even listen to the music. I listen to older music than I grew up on. It's because it's better.
Yeah, back when you actually had to have some sort of talent.
Yeah, you couldn't fix anything. You'd actually have to take a fucking razor blade out, cut a giant piece of tape, splice it together to do an edit. You know what I mean? It would take 3 days to cut one bad snare hit out.
Yeah, yeah. Back when you recorded an album, you actually had to know your shit. You had to have practiced and rehearsed that whole album just so that you wouldn't be wasting time in the studio, as opposed to wasting time in the studio just being like, all right, so if we just tweak this to 50 BPM, all right, and then we make the gain this, and you're just sitting there with your thumb up your ass dicking around on a laptop for fucking 6 hours.
I'm trying to remember who told me this about recording. It's an old guy. He's been in bands. God, what band is this? One of the weird bands, like not Foreigner, but something like Autograph. The guitar
Can't
player
sound
from
familiar.
Autograph. Steve Lynch. I got to hang out with him at a music convention thing one day, eating lunch with him, just bullshitting with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, so what's it like to record? Being a professional recorder. He goes, we used to spend 5-6 days just getting a guitar tone.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd go in and we'd lay the drum tracks down perfect, and then we do all this shit. And he goes, it sounded like absolute shit. The songs had no feel to them. There was no vibe, very robotic. And then we'd go out and play them live, and the songs would be awesome. So then we went in and did our last record. We recorded it in 2 days, did everything live. Greatest record I've ever done. And I wasted all of that time trying to fancy up all this shit, doing it perfectly, when it's about feeling. And you can't get feeling out of tracking shit. You know what I mean?
Well, no, you can't get feeling out of when you're using a program and you're using samples that are perfect. That's the thing. When you're doing shit like that, and I get why, obviously it's popular and people like that music for a fucking reason. What that reason is totally escapes me. But that's my problem with it, is that it's too perfect. It's this isn't music anymore. This is just math.
Yeah, putting pieces together like a video game.
Exactly. Yeah. This isn't music. This is just a jigsaw puzzle that you slap together.
And I don't know. It seems like songwriters now spend more time fucking around with plugins than actually writing music. You know, it's the more the technology hits the music, the worse the music is getting. Music, I finally figured out, music isn't about technology and being perfect. It's about generating feelings into people, an emotion.
Yes, music is art, and art is subjective. But that's the whole point of art, is to get some sort of emotion and feeling out of whatever it is that's viewing it.
That's why people that smoke weed still put on Led Zeppelin 4, no matter how, even if you're fucking 14 years old and smoking weed for the first time. I'm telling you, you're not going to sit back and chill out, smoke weed, and having a great time listening to Falling in Reverse. I'm sorry. Not going to happen.
I mean, that's not really a song that I would pick for like chilling out in general, not just smoking weed. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like you're saying, everything's too perfect. Most of the songs don't even have real drums in them anymore, which is a shame. I can tell within 2 seconds if it's real drums or not.
Yeah, yeah. But I also understand why people are doing it, because it's I forget where it was that I saw this, but it was like a fucking web comic I saw somebody made, but it was just like a drawing of like a studio set up from like the from the slider board side of the glass, and they're like looking into the studio, and you see a drum set, a harp, a grand piano, a tuba, a timpanis, like all
Yeah.
of these like giant ass instruments. And then one of them looks at the other and says, "See, my favorite thing about analog music is how my favorite thing about analog instruments is how inconveniently heavy they are." And it's like, that really is it. Why would you bother dropping hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for this heavy ass fucking drum set when you could just get a drum machine that does what you want to do anyway? Which, I get that, but at the same time, that's how you become a fucking amazing drummer, is by playing the goddamn drums. But if you're not trying to be a drummer and you're just trying to be a musician, or you're trying to be an artist and you're just making music, well, yeah, why the fuck would you go through all that effort?
All that effort. And then you have to actually talk to an actual drummer, which not fun.
No. Every
Like-
time I've talked to a drummer about trying to play the drums, it's always like, unless it's like the bare bones basics, like anytime they try to show me like how to do a fill or something like that, I was like, how do you do that? And they're just like that, like I just did. I'm like, yeah, but how'd you do that? I don't know.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I did a lot, and now I just do it.
Yeah, you see, I did it really fast. I started on this one, and then I dragged it over to the floor tom over here. I'm like, yes, but how did you get that fast? Oh,
I used to do merch at the what do you call it? The punk rock festival.
oh, fun.
The band's Warped Tour.
Right.
And every time you go out, and I only do just the Wisconsin one, but every time you go out backstage, every single drummer from every band would be hanging out together.
Of course.
Because nobody likes drummers at all, except for drummers. And even if the bands were fighting, like fist fighting, like, or fighting in the public, whatever, drummers are always cool. No matter what. They're like goalies in hockey. They'll just get together and talk to each other. Whatever them guys are doing, whatever. I don't know. But nobody likes drummers other than drummers.
I don't know. Every now and then you do find one chick who's really into fucking drummers.
Yeah,
But
we call those closeted lesbians. Oh God. Yeah, drummers. They're gone. It's over. Another job that has been replaced by the computers. Drummers. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, since drummers were in honor of the drummers everywhere, I've got a bit of a joke, I guess. How do you make sure that a drummer shows up to band practice on time?
How's that?
Order a pizza.
You know what drummers I hate the worst out of all drummers?
Like a drummer specifically, or just a type of drummer?
The type of drummer, the big kit drummer, the guy who buys like a fucking 4 double basses, fucking 18 toms, 27 cymbals, racks.
You can
He has to get to the club.
You can only blame Neil Peart for that.
You got to get to the club at like 11 in the morning for a 9 p.m. show to set his kid up. Terry Bozzio.
This motherfucker's got a gong that's like twice the size of his actual set, and he only uses it once.
And then you go see him, and then the band's playing like basic 4/4 rock.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, what the hell?
Yes, but see, I understand that because I'm a percussionist, and I do get that, but I don't know if I would go that fucking far. I understand being that level of autistic with your set, where you're just like, yes, I understand that I have a dozen toms, but you see, this one is a half step higher than this one, and yes, that is different to me. It sounds different to me.
What I really get off on is drummers that show up with a kick drum, a snare, one cymbal, hi-hats, and maybe a floor tom if you remembered to bring it.
Just the basic bare bones setup.
Yeah, not even a fucking tom, just a floor tom. And for some reason can pull off goddamn Tom Sawyer. And you don't miss anything from it. He nails it. You know what I mean? You ever seen a guy like that?
Yeah, I've there's actually there's a video that I saw of fuck, what's his name? The drummer of Dream Theater. What's his name?
Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, there was a video I saw of Mike Portnoy playing like a bunch of different metal songs on a Hello Kitty drum set.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he fucking did it. Like, it was crazy.
Pause Reality says he doesn't get any human emotions from music anymore. I am listening to hidden messages, like Diddy's cries to help him from being diddled. Do you think like one of Diddy's artists, like in the middle of like a breakdown thing, goes, "Diddy's touching my nuts. Diddy's touching my nuts. Please call the police. Diddy's touching my nuts," and put it like subliminally in the song in the background?
Yeah, they just deep fried it with distortion and played it in reverse and just made it the backing track.
That motherfucker's putting his dick in my ass. He's coming after me.
Someone who knows how to use AI. Can someone please make that happen?
Yeah, everybody thought Dave Chappelle was kidding back in the day. No, that was all. He wasn't making that shit up.
You know, Dave Chappelle and fucking Cat Williams. Everybody thought Cat Williams was fucking crazy. No, that dude was on some shit.
He said all hell is breaking loose, and all hell has broken loose. Holy shit. What a world we live in.
What a world we live in. What a fucking country we live in.
I mean, we pretty much know now you can't get away with anything. Ever again.
Unless you have money.
You can't even hit on young girls. It's not getting in trouble.
Unless you have money.
Well,
unless you have too much money.
See, Vince, I love Vince Neil, right? From Motley Crue, the lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's 68 years old right now, currently.
That sounds about right.
Well, just found out his wife was cheating on him. I know a lot of people forget, but his plane crashed about 2 months ago. Vince Neil's plane crashed
I did not know this.
with his girlfriend or / wife on the plane. And she wasn't supposed to be on the plane. They weren't supposed to be flying. Apparently, she was fucking Vince's pilot. And he died, though, in the crash. But she stayed alive.
So the pilot died, but she lived.
Yeah, she got like a broken nose. And then Vince finds out that he's been sleeping with the dead pilot. So their relationship's over. Right?
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, the guy that she cheated with is dead. So,
I mean, advantage Vince Neil.
yeah, I mean, what else can you do at that point?
I mean, I really wouldn't be that upset that the guy died that was fucking my wife. Never.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine him just being upset and just being like, man, I really liked Jerry. He was a damn good pilot. And then like 2 months later, the news gets out. You'd be like, man, I knew Jerry was a fucking prick.
I went to that I paid for that fucker's funeral.
I paid for his funeral. I paid for that motherfucker's flight school bills, and this is how he repays me. I should go piss on his grave.
So he's single, right?
Gotcha. Where's this going?
So this guy is a guy who basically, you want to fuck me? Chicks are like, yeah. That's how Vince Neil picks up chicks.
Well, yeah, he's Vince Neil.
So he's on Instagram. He's nearly single, and he sees a 21-year-old Instagram model and starts hitting on her.
I'm sure that went well.
So she goes on and creates a TikTok video, which I can't find, and she took it down for some reason. It goes, this fucking dirty old prick's trying to get in my pants, and shows all of the text messages of him going, come on, baby, I can fly you anywhere you want. I'll come pick you up. I'll have a jet come get you right now. Apparently he's got a new pilot.
Well, yeah, I'm sure once he figured out Jerry stabbed him in the back, he got over getting a new pilot real quick.
Yeah, I would hire for maybe some female pilots from here on out. And she just embarrassed him in front of everybody. That's the sad part now. You can't even hit on chicks without him. It's like writing a love letter to the hot chick in school and her like putting it in the school newspaper.
Well, also, I mean, of course she only saw him as just some creepy old dude. Like, I doubt that bitch even knew that he was in fucking Motley Crue.
No, I mean, what 21-year-old chick wants to bang the 70-year-old lead singer from Motley Crue?
Exactly.
Like Vince Neil's son is too old to bang.
Yeah. And I bet you that he has more pull than his dad does just by being Vince Neil's son. And it doesn't even matter if they know who Motley Crue is. All he has to do is just say, like, yeah, my dad's a famous rock star. I've got money.
Do you remember that movie about Richard Jewell? You know, the bomber for the Olympics? That came out a couple of years ago. I'm trying to think.
I saw that.
I'm trying to remember the actor's name. He was in Karate Kid. The new Karate Kid show. Fat guy, something Howell maybe. Beginning of wrestling. He's like in every movie. I don't. He just did whatever. But Vince Neil's son, literally, is just some fucking mullet, mustache, just ugly dude. Just like trailer park looking guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like he has any money. I don't think Vince gave him a dime.
Well, it's either Vince didn't give him a dime, or he has the money to where he doesn't have to look like he has money. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, he tried to come out with a Motley Crue tribute band, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, it turns out that musical talent doesn't go down a generation.
No, it doesn't. That's Gene Simmons' son.
Yeah, and also Frank Sinatra Jr.
Frank Sinatra Jr. Yeah, that was a big disappointment. He's still out gigging.
Somehow. Actually,
We should do a show on that. We should do a show on top 10. What the fuck? Who's hiring these people?
yeah, a bunch of bands that people think are dead, but they're just like, nope, they're still touring.
Like, do you know the Bullet Boys have not stopped touring since 1987?
See, the only way I've heard of the Bullet Boys was because I hung out with you.
Exactly. I'm like, and they're like, yeah, that song in 1987. Like, no, dude, they're still going, putting out records every year and going on tour. And they're like, where? I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how that's even possible. Who's paying to say the Bullet Boys in 2025? What's another one I saw that was? Oh, Enough's Enough was another hair metal band that had like one hit in the 80s. Still touring, haven't stopped.
Fucking how?
I don't know. How much can they possibly make a night?
I obviously they have fans, but I didn't know it was that fucking big.
Yeah, he said, Paz would be like, man, I remember every day, man, that bitch cheating on me. I'm trying to think what another band too that just should shut it down right away is that Linkin Park, for fuck's sakes. What is going on with that?
Well, their lead singer died. So
I mean, they hired the wrong person for that gig.
Yeah. And I'm not even the biggest Linkin Park fan, but yeah, they like you hired a chick. Like
it's like, hey, the Chuck Alpine guy's available.
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying I'm against it because she's a chick, but I'm just like I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of other dudes that would be more than willing to step in for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that like have the passion for the music.
Right.
Like the gigs themselves are bad. The band is bad. They're people wanting refunds. They're canceling shows everywhere. It's just like, yeah, fire that bitch. See, that's what happens when you hire women. You can't fire them because then you look bad.
Yeah, you gotta do like see, you can't fire them because you look bad, or you play it right and you do it like White Zombie did, where their bass player was a smoking hot chick, and then they could just get away with doing whatever sexual shit they wanted because they were just like, well, our bass player's a chick and she doesn't care.
Yeah, that's why we need to get a real black guy on our show so we can start using them N-word.
Yeah, we need at least one cool black guy to be on here so that we can get the N-word pass.
Yeah, do we have any Patrice offspring anywhere?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh man, yeah. I'm trying to think of other bands that are still out making money, and it's like, what's that one? Hey, now you're a rock star. Get your game on. Go play.
Smash Mouth. Although their singer died fairly recently, so I don't know if they're going to still go on tour after that.
Oh no, they've been touring without the singer now for 10 years.
What do you mean 10 years? The singer died like fucking 2 or 3 years ago.
He would literally come back to the band for like 3 weeks, and he was such a drunk dick they would fire him. So like the band, he was in and out of the band constantly. So like when you showed up to a Smash Mouth concert, they always had the backup guy sitting there, and he'd come and show up and goes, "Who's this fucking asshole?" I guess he
Well,
was the meanest, nastiest man ever. And it's like the guy from Shrek. If you ask me who's the nicest rock star by perception, I'd say probably who'd want to hang out with the guy from Smash Mouth. That guy's a square. He's a nerd.
well,
No, he's a
well,
drunken asshole.
yeah, he was a drunken asshole, and also he had such a fucking ego about himself and Smash Mouth, like to the point where he felt like that the fact that Smash Mouth's music was in Shrek actually ruined their career. And,
No,
and yeah, I was just like, no, dude, like Shrek is the only reason why anybody even recognizes Smash Mouth as a fucking staple. You should have painted your fucking skin green and wore the Shrek ears for the rest of your goddamn life. You could have been the soundtrack to every single fucking Shrek movie and lived like a goddamn king. But no, every single time this motherfucker, like anybody on Twitter who messaged him and said something about like, oh yeah, people only know you because your music was in Shrek. This dude would literally go on like a fucking like mouth foaming tangent, going on some shit like man, we could have been the fucking Beatles.
They had that one song. I'm trying to remember what the big song that they had, their first one before Shrek.
Well, there was that one. There was that cover of "Then I Saw Her Face." That was pretty big.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the original, like I could kind of hear it in my head, but I can't remember the name of it.
Island on the Sun.
Island of the Sun. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that one was big. And
all they did is go back and steal some music from the 60s and repurpose it. It's not like they were fucking Lennon and McCarthy, for Christ's sakes.
I said one little bit of Smash Mouth trivia that I do know about is, that I think that's the guitar line for All Star is actually like a repurposed guitar line that the guitar player's been holding on to for like a long time, where it was like, he wrote it for one band that he was in, and they didn't know what to do with it. And then he tried to use it for another band that he was in. They didn't know what to do with it. And then he brought it up to Smash Mouth, and they didn't know what to do with it. But then when they were recording the album, he was just dicking around in the studio, and he played it one day. And then the fucking executive that was there was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Do that again. Yeah. And it turned out to be like one of their biggest fucking hits ever. Just this random ass guitar line that this dude's been holding on to for like 10 years. It just hit the right person.
God, how do you, you spend your whole life dreaming of becoming a rock star, getting a #1 hit. And then you just end up being the most miserable person on earth. It just doesn't make sense.
It literally happens to every single one of them.
In one of the happiest sounding bands, though. It's not like they were like if the guy from The Cure drank himself to death. That sounds about right.
Yeah, like the one that always makes me fucking laugh about that is the fucking Police. Like the fact that group who did like Walking on the Moon and like every little thing she does is special, everything she does just turns me on. There's like all that fucking like upbeat happy shit like behind the scenes. They were like, no, you fucking idiot, it sounds like this.
Yeah. Oh God, that documentary they made was spectacular.
Yeah. Like it's so fucking mind-boggling to me.
Like
where there's like even like on that last Police album that they did, they couldn't even be in the same studio together to record that album, and it's just like, and again, that album was just like, there's nothing in this album that sounds like sad or sounds like it's mad, like angry or anything. It's like, what is wrong with you guys?
It's like they both tried to fucking out-cheese themselves. And they ended up writing hit songs.
I know. And
You don't like
it
my
just kept,
complicated shit? Well, how about this one? Every single breath you take, I'll be watching you. How about that, motherfucker? That's a stupid song. And they're like, oh, it's a hit song. Fuck.
oh, great. We got to go on tour again. God damn it.
What I always think is funny is when the band's a trio and they can't get along. I understand a 5-piece band, a 4-piece band, because there's always just that one extra agitator, but 3 guys should be able to get along.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's 3 of you, you have to pull your weight evenly. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if they hate each other, it's like, okay, one of you is just a showboating asshole, and all the other ones are actually doing all the work.
And in a democracy, it's always gonna, they're always gonna have a decision. If 2 guys are friends, the one guy's fucked.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Like, you're always going to be outvoted no matter what.
And it's weird. I notice a lot about bands, and it's like, I think you've been in some band situations, but like just dudes in the band click, and then it becomes like camps. Like these 2 dudes like hanging out with each other. These 2 dudes hanging out with each other, and this dude doesn't like hanging out with anybody.
Yeah,
That's usually a bad thing. It's usually a couple of guys are good buddies and hang out, and their wives talk.
yeah. It is like that, but it also depends on the type of musician that you're talking about. Like, there are people that just really love music and they love performing, and they just click with a certain type of person. But there are also like the eccentric musician types. Like one example that I could think of is I'm sure you know Les Claypool of Primus.
Oh yes.
So he has for like the longest time he had a fishing buddy in Seattle who didn't even know that this motherfucker knew how to play bass, let alone that he was in Primus. And he was Les Claypool's fishing buddy for like 10 years.
Really?
And the only way that this guy knew that Les Claypool was in Primus was because he walked into a bar one day and they played fucking Primus on MTV. And he just saw Les Claypool on the TV and he's like, what the fuck is this?
That's the guy I'm fishing with. What the?
Yeah, that's my fishing buddy.
Yeah, I know real rock stars, fake rock stars. I've seen them all. Real rock stars never tell you who they are.
They don't have to.
And if they don't, I'm going to let a little secret out. Rock stars don't like talking to people. I'm going to let that secret out.
No,
so
a big majority of their life is talking to people. I'm sure they're sick of it.
So trust me, when at the Sunday, if they go unnoticed at the farmers market on Sunday, it's way better than being noticed. Let's just put it that way. But then there's some guys.
They only want to be noticed when they want to be noticed.
And the funniest thing I've ever seen about a band wanting to be noticed was My Chemical Romance.
Oh God, what the fuck happened with them?
So I went to the Rainbow, right?
You mean the Rainbow, the restaurant bar thing in California?
Yeah, in Hollywood when I lived in California, the Rainbow Rock and Roll Bar. I went there almost every weekend when I lived in California. But I saw those guys. They would come in just with like regular T-shirts on and shit, looking like just normal dudes. Nobody knew who they were. And they were getting pissed. They had the #1 song on the radio at the time. Like, man, we can't get any broads. Nobody notices us. And I says, well, because you don't look like you do in the video. The guy, the guy looked at me, and his eyes just got like a beam of light just went into his brain, right? Yeah. So I go back to the Rainbow the next night. They're all sitting there with their makeup on, their black shirts and the red ties. Chicks just fucking throwing themselves at them. And I'm like, I told you.
Yeah,
You can't.
congratulations, you just realized A, you're in California and people are stupid, and B, your fans are stupid.
Exactly. Like, you look like just every normal dude now does, unless you're wearing your band costumes.
Yeah. Do you think Marilyn Manson goes walking around in broad daylight with the fucking corpse paint and all that shit? It's like, no, I'm sure that if he fucking walked around just normal, he ties up his hair, puts a baseball cap on, and he just looks like your fucking Uncle Jeb. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Uncle Jim. Oh, what other weird rock star story I saw? We were at the convention, and some guy in an old beat up S10 pickup pulls up, get ready to pull out. I look over, and it's fucking Slash. Driving the shittiest truck I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, you know what? I bet people think he's just some fucking Mexican going home from work and they don't bother him. I'm like, that makes a hell of a lot more sense than driving a fucking Ferrari convertible around.
Yeah, I bet you. Is like, is that dude Slash? Is like, well, he's driving a piece of shit and he's not wearing the hat, so yeah, probably not.
We had an argument for about 3 days. I'm pretty sure that was Slash.
It is kind of weird seeing pictures of Slash without the hat. It's almost like he's got an evil twin. You know what I mean?
He does. And the hat was stolen once, but returned magically.
Yeah. I think the original hat he stole, and then someone stole that hat, and then he got another one. That one got stolen. The third one got stolen, and then the fourth one is like the one that he has. Is like, yeah, no one's tried to take this one. Also, another stolen hat story I stumbled across that I thought was fucking great was apparently at one point when Motorhead was in California, I believe, someone stole Lemmy's hat.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh,
that wasn't a smart idea because when Lemmy found out, word got around to all the Motorhead fans that Lemmy's hat was stolen. And so then within, like, I think they said, like, within 3 days of that concert, someone was at a house party, and and whoever was hosting the party had Lemmy's hat, and they just put it on, like, their mantle of, like, their fireplace or something.
Oh no!
And so,
oh no!
So this dude literally just walked through everybody with like 3 of his buddies, just walked up, grabbed the hat, and just looked the dude dead in the face. He's like, I fucking dare you to take this hat away from me. Like, he just straight up took the hat right in front of him. He's like, I fucking dare you, buddy. And just walked out with it and gave it back to Lemmy.
Yeah, I hate to Bert you, but I got a Lemmy story.
Oh, please. I love Lemmy stories.
So at the Rainbow, right? I'd go hang out
Right,
there once.
of course.
I had my little period there. So Lemmy would be there. He'd be over in the corner playing the video poker machine. And the rule is, if you want to talk to Lemmy, number 1, you buy him a Jack and Coke.
Of course.
Number 2, you wait for him to acknowledge you. You do not bother his game. You wait till the game is over. Number 3, you don't ask for pictures. Now,
okay,
any tourist that would walk into the Rainbow, go up to him, interrupt his game, and ask for a picture, any local would grab him by the neck and drag him out the bar and say, never fucking come back here again.
Jesus.
That's why fucking Lemmy was there. And it was, you don't fuck with him, you don't talk to him. And if you do talk to Lemmy, it was like the Nazi, like on Seinfeld.
The soup Nazi.
The soup Nazi. But if you get to buy Lemmy a drink one time, you get to talk. You get to ask him one question. You get to say hi. No pictures. Get the fuck out of there. That's all I needed in my life was my 3 minutes with Lemmy. I bought him the drink. Waited for the game. I said, man, without you, there is no rock and roll. Thank you. And he says, sorry, your musical taste sucks. He goes, and I was like, the greatest ever. And I said, thank you for your time. And he goes, hey, no problem. Thanks for the drink. And I turned around and walked away. I didn't want. I did exactly. I got my joke. I got my 3 minutes, and my hero is still my hero. That's my lame Motorhead story. But no, literally, people would just anybody that fucked with Lemmy or bothered him without doing the protocol was dragged out of the rainbow.
Yeah,
down to this day, there's a bronze statue of Lemmy where he used to sit at the bar, which is.
If I ever set foot in Los Angeles, I would to at least get a picture in front of that statue. But one Lemmy story, it's easy to see a Lemmy as that, he's a fucking rock and roll and metal guy. He's a fucking junkie. He's crazy. But there's a story that I stumbled across with Dave Grohl where he said it was like the first time that he ever met Lemmy was at the Rainbow, and this was after Nirvana split up, just put it lightly, and so Lemmy was just doing his thing, playing video poker, and Dave Grohl was debating whether he was going to go and bug him or not.
Yep.
But then eventually he just worked up the courage and went over there, and he just went up to Lemmy and he, just said, "Hi, my name's Dave. I don't know if you know me, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm a big fan." Just give him his respect and just say like, "I'm a big fan of yours." And he said that Lemmy looked away from his video poker and looked him dead in the eyes. And he said the first thing Lemmy ever said to him was, "I'm sorry about your friend." and he said that like it took everything within his power to like not just collapse onto the floor and start crying. It's just like, this dude is like a legend. He is my hero. And the first thing he ever said to me was that he heard about what happened to Kurt and that he was sorry.
It was. I'm not gonna lie. I'd go to the bar and I would stare at him, just look at him. But like even Dave Grohl, like even had the decency to not sneak up on him. You know what I mean? It's
right. Yeah.
It was a known rule. You do not fuck with Lemmy. You don't. He was like a king there. It's hard else, or like the mob boss.
Yeah. It's
just like I went and it felt like a mob boss. I wanted to pay my respects, sir, and thank you.
Yeah.
Anything you say is going to be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, Lemmy just got this beyond insane amount of respect, and one example of that I could think of is that my tattoo artist, when I lived in Seattle, like for the longest time, he fucking hated Motorhead. He did not get Motorhead. He didn't like him at all. I loved Motorhead, and I defended it to the day that I died. I didn't give a shit. And but then when Lemmy died, they did a live stream of his funeral.
Oh yeah.
And I watched it, obviously. Of course. But then later on, I went into the tattoo shop and he asked me if I watched it, and I said, "Well, yeah, of course." And he said that he watched it, and I was like, "Why did you watch it?" And he said, like, "Well, because I just saw a glimpse of it, and I forgot who it was, but it was like some musician went up there to talk about Lemmy, and it was a musician that he really liked, So he's like, "Okay, I'll see what this dude has to say." And he's like, and I ended up watching the whole thing because it was literally every musician that I could possibly think of that I love, that inspired me to be a musician, that I love about metal. Like literally everyone that I could possibly think of showed up at this dude's funeral and they all said the same thing, which was this was the realest motherfucker who ever lived.
Yes.
Like every single one of them, they all said that. And he's like, and after that, I had a totally different respect for Motorhead and Lemmy after that when I realized that how much he was actually loved, you know?
He to this day, I don't know anybody else that's ever going to be like that guy.
No,
He just didn't give a.
A dude was just larger than life in almost every aspect.
He didn't give a fuck about nothing financially. He was not a greedy guy. He lived in the same apartment his entire life.
Yeah, the motherfucker would just gamble on video poker in a fucking bar. This dude could have a fucking mansion anywhere in California or in the like. He could live it up like a fucking Beatle if he wanted to. He's like, no, I just have this apartment that I hold all my World War II memorabilia in.
And you know what? That guy is ugly as sin.
Yes.
And that guy, he had a new woman with him every night. It's crazy. He had women lining up. That guy.
Yeah, arguably one of the ugliest British people to ever exist.
It doesn't matter what you look like. It's your attitude. His attitude was put the pedal to the metal. Let's go. I'm in a band. Let's play music.
Yeah, exactly. That entire like he really didn't give a shit attitude. That's what drew people to him. It's a thing that I've heard referred to as like charisma with a capital C.
Yes.
Where he's not charismatic in the face sense of like, this guy is alluring, like, you know what I mean? Where like, oh, he's very appealing. Not like that, but it's just like there's just something about him, like an aura, a presence. You know what I mean? Is like there's just something about him where you look past how fucked up he is, like how fucking ugly this dude is, and how huge that goddamn mole on his face is because of what he does and what he's saying. It's just like this dude is so goddamn cool.
By the way, that mole, I guess he's dead. I guess I will let the secret out. That mole right there, that was called the drug mole. That wasn't real. It wasn't real. No, he would just use it when he's traveling because then he'd throw his speed in there. He'd be able to get 3 grams in there, enough for 4 days worth of touring. Never once got busted.
Huh.
Because he always had that big ugly mole on his face. And they're like even the cops were like, who would do that? Would ugly themselves up everywhere just for drugs? Well, a speed addict for 50-something years.
Yeah, and also, yeah, if he's touring around the world and he could get pussy if he was literally missing half of his face, then yeah, I'll just walk around with this giant ass mole full of drugs on me. Why not?
And he had his boots were the most intricate boots ever created for smuggling drugs. It was like that cube on Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Basically, the heel of his shoe was that Hellraiser cube that you'd have to fucking literally blow up to get. Guy got high every day. Never got arrested once for drugs.
Well, yeah, he was a goddamn professional.
He put the shit in his face and in his boots. He can always find paraphernalia. Don't bring paraphernalia.
Well, yeah, and also it's Lemmy. Even if he didn't smuggle all that shit in there, do you really think that motherfucker could have walked anywhere on the goddamn planet and just be like, yeah, I need some speed? And literally everyone would crawl out of the fucking woodworks just to be like, yeah, I know a guy.
Yeah, that's the problem. No
Yeah.
one, you never get good drugs on the road.
Well, not nowadays.
Yeah, you ever been to a party where you get there and you're like, let's get the fuck out of here?
Pretty much every party I've ever been to, but yeah.
You walk in, you're like, there's a room and there's sexual shit going on. You're like, is that chick even awake? Is there a crime happening here?
Yeah, that's pretty much every party I've ever been to. Like within an hour of me being there, I'm just like, what the fuck am I even doing here?
The other thing I hate too is like you go to like this weird town and you're hanging out and you're like, yeah, dude, we're having a party after hours at my place. Tons of chicks are gonna show up, and you go over there. There's a guy cleaning a shotgun, and another guy fucking looking at you weird, sharpening a knife, and you're like, are you gonna eat me?
No, I just
always
want
look
to
at
show you my gun and knife collection.
And there's always when you're with a group of dudes. Usually it's 4 or 5 dudes when you go out. Usually 3 out of the 5 dudes are kind of street smart and know right away.
Mm-hmm.
And like, me and 2 other guys are like, let's get the fuck out of here. And the other guy goes, oh no, this will be fun. The chicks will be showing. I go, dude, there's no chicks showing up. Oh, come on, give him a check. No, I'm not giving. The guy's holding a gun. We're leaving.
Yeah, no chick is gonna walk in here and see a dude cleaning a shotgun and go like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
The biggest life lesson I learned a long time ago. A lot of people die from being polite.
Yeah. Yeah, being a little too polite can get you in trouble.
Yeah, don't be afraid to hurt anybody's feelings at any time. If you feel weird, hurt their feelings. Not hanging out with some dudes in a bonfire sharpening guns and polishing knives.
Well, it reminds me of that bit that Patrice O'Neill had, where he said that like, people want to go on about like, he's like, oh, racism is such a big problem, but he's just like, no, dude, I'm racist all the fucking time. He's like, let me put it to you this way: if I'm walking down the street and I see a bunch of bald white dudes walking towards me, I'm not gonna sit there and wait and ask if they have fucking cancer. I'm crossing the goddamn street.
You can sense you can sense bad cats the second you're in their presence. You deal with some, I bet, all day.
Yeah, dude. We have gut feelings for a reason. It's ingrained in our fucking DNA. We have that feeling for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and I will say, like, 8 times out of 10, when I trust my gut, I'm right. That other 2 times out of 10, I misread something. Something weird happened. Got off on the wrong foot. Whatever. I'm a dick sometimes. Sure. But
Yep.
8 times out of 10, I'm fucking right. Even if I don't have proof, all I have to do is just be like, I talked to this dude for a solid 5 minutes and I don't like him.
I've gotten to the point where I just sit there and go, this guy's wrong, but I'll just agree with him. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah. Yep. The Mexicans are destroying the country. Yep. They are. Horrible people, those Mexicans.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easier just to smile and nod.
And if some dick clips that and says what this kind of show is, I'll punch you.
Awfully bold of you to assume someone has that much malicious intent for us.
I think it's coming very quickly. There's something brewing.
Oh, you've got a gut feeling now?
Yeah, I got a gut feeling something's brewing. Somebody, we might have ruffled the wrong feathers.
What do you mean we?
I mean me.
What do you mean we? Don't drag me into your horse shit.
No, after what happened this week, I can't play that on YouTube. Never mind. I can't play playing the guy getting shot. Right? That's against, I think.
Yeah. YouTube definitely.
YouTube guidelines, I think, is.
Yeah,
what do
they
call
probably
it?
wouldn't approve of that. The operating systems or whatever, the terms of agreement.
Sons of bitches. But apparently these 2 YouTube guys got into it. One guy in Vegas. I'm trying to remember what his name. I'm not going to say their names. Who cares?
Yeah.
But this guy for 2 years was talking mad shit to this guy that was living in Vegas. They got in a little YouTube fight and they started doing copyright strikes and just taking their money, and you know how that goes.
Not personally, but I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's just these streamers that are just, I don't even understand it anymore. It's like streamer warfare. Like, how can I fuck this guy over more than he's fucking me over? I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do it as a goof, as we would call it.
Yeah, a radio war. It's just for fun, for shits and giggles. We're not trying to go after your fucking money.
So the dude's outside at the Bellagio bar, the visiting podcaster or YouTube streamer,
Right.
and having a drink. Him and his wife. Guy pops up, pulls a gun out, puts fucking 11 shots into him. The guy and his wife, kills them both. Right there in the street in Vegas, here, right in front of the Bellagio.
Why did he kill the wife? What did she have to do with this?
Well, she was trying to help him.
Ah.
And,
well, I mean, but
Jesus.
I mean, still, like,
sometimes I forget because I'm just in my little world here doing my little show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I forget that there's fucking crazy people out there listening to me.
The internet is full of psychopaths. I try to tell people that all the fucking time.
That kind of really hit home today. It's like, I've been thinking about that. It happened a couple of nights ago. I'm like, that's fucking scary.
Yeah, dude, it really isn't that hard for if someone really fucking wanted to. It ain't that hard.
So I'm gonna put a statement out right now. For the whole MHH network and every streamer out there and every listener that's listening right now. I think every streamer that is streaming right now is fantastic. I think you guys are doing great work. You guys are hitting it out of the park every night. I am a fan. I am a listener. I listen to every podcast ever created. I get up in the morning till night. All I do is listen to everybody's podcast. And you know what? All of them, they're fantastic. Every podcast I've ever listened to, every person, perfect people, awesome people. I love I'm a fan of every podcast ever created. End of statement.
I listen to 5 podcasts simultaneously, 24/7.
To all of you psychotic people that are into killing podcast hosts, I'm on your side. I'm on your club. I'm on your team. Let me know if a podcaster is, doing some stuff you don't like them. But if you plan on shooting podcasters, I prefer not shooting me. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, you'll find a fence outside my house, where it's as long as you shoot anywhere outside this vicinity, we're fine.
Now everybody knows I'm a felon. I can't have firearms. But you know what? As I was going back watching old television programs, I learned one thing. On probation, you can still shoot arrows with dynamite on them. Dukes of Hazzard taught me that. So you come through my house, you're getting an arrow with some dynamite. It's not even going to stick you. It's going to blow you up. Just like, you know what it's going to look like, Marco? You know what it's going to look like? I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. You come into my house. You come in my house and see my fucked up face.
It was just a goof. Listen, man, it was just a joke. I shot you in the head. It was like a funny haha, I could have killed you kind of joke. It was just a goof.
POV, you broke into the wrong house.
That's an exploding dynamite fucking arrow right there, brother. Holy shit. Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's the greatest clip ever.
Yeah, that turned out so good.
He hits him in the leg. Just so you can fucking just show his face one more time. Oh, God. Holy shit. What time? Oh, my God. All right. Wow. We're 2 hours into this fucker, huh? All right.
Yeah, we just hit 2 hours. Goddamn, perfect timing.
All right. So, yeah, let's wrap this fucker up here in a couple of minutes. I didn't get to any show appropriated material.
When have we ever gotten to any of the show prep?
I don't know. It's like the nights that I'm fucking prepared, I have everything. Uh-oh. Oh, no. We have a problem.
What?
It's official. The edibles have dropped.
There we go.
Edibles have finally dropped. I've already done the show, and I'm thinking we're just getting started.
Kicked in, the edibles have. Stoned I am.
If you turn into a sex educational video, you can just talk about anything on YouTube. Well, I've had it with YouTube. Had it. Yeah.
You're not alone on that.
I do all my promoting for the Rumble channel. That's why our YouTube numbers look like shit. But I don't care.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is just there just because you kind of have to be on YouTube for some goddamn reason.
So I don't know. Who cares? Who cares about the inside baseball, right? Why are we talking inside baseball? No need to that. We're wrapping up the show. We had a great show tonight.
Yeah.
We have one more clip to play. Let me play my pre-recorded clip because it's so cool.
All right. Let's see what you got here.
Let's see. One last one.
Handle this my way. We're not traumatizing the family any more than we...
Fucking...
Well. If it ain't the lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
This should be fun.
Well, this is an older stream.
Speaking of bitches. Well then.
Damn!
Niket,
Damn!
you sold me out.
Kill him.
Hey Miranda, you know that devil on your shoulder? It's pink, and it's me. Kill him.
Just that fucking that music and that dramatic pause of just contemplation. Just
Oh,
kill him.
Great. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, you guys are missing out if you're not checking out Marco's Twitter.
Yes, my Twitch. At MarcoV193. And if you don't have Twitch, then I have those clips on my YouTube channel, where you can see at least little bits and pieces, the good parts anyway. But you are missing out if you don't catch the show live or you don't have Twitch. You really should get a Twitch just to watch my streams, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think of like this show, but like with shit going on.
Yeah, like actual visual stimulus. We actually seem like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, every night I like script out a show, get it ready to go, load up a bunch of shit, and we don't even get to it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just recycle that for that fucking happy hour this week. Fuck it. Recycle some bits. I did want to show you one thing before we leave tonight.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question about your human existence.
Okay,
if you've ever seen this before in the history of mankind, because I thought this was a little weird.
Homeland Security office on the Paramount side, right next to the Home Depot, and they are unloading this huge helicopter with, I mean, just boxes and boxes, dozens of boxes of ammunitions, less lethal weaponry. You see these tanks with flammable labels on the side, one after
I thought they were
another,
beer
and they're
kegs
trying
for
to
a
ship it
second.
as if they
I
were
did
getting
too.
ready for some
Like
kind
they're
of
throwing a
nuclear
party.
battle. I mean, it really
Yeah.
has to be said, this is a
Have you ever seen a
remarkable sight.
a Black Hawk helicopter
Of the
land in a
suburban street
residential
here
in
where they're
a
just
warehouse district?
all of these weapons,
It's
carts
crazy.
full
No.
of boxes
Yeah, not
with
in
flammable weaponry.
not
So
in
you can see
American
that
soil.
it just made its
Yeah,
own
just
parking spot there in the
plop down
parking
a
lot
fucking.
of that Homeland Security office on the other
Yeah,
side of
that's
the
like an
river where all of
Amazon
this is
warehouse.
taking
What the
place,
fuck?
and just a few blocks from that
No,
Home
it's Home
Depot, and
Depot.
right across the freeway
Yeah.
from where that
That's
car
where they
fire
were.
was
That's
just
where
a few blocks
the
away,
people were
and the
protesting
protesters
across the
and the
street. So they
sheriff's
brought in
department
some
have been squaring
weapons
off
with a
this
fucking
site
Black Hawk.
here, at the Homeland Security office of these federal
I mean, you got to
officials
prove a point, I
unloading
guess. Send in the
dozens
big
of
guns.
boxes of weapons and ammunition is just quite a sight to behold here. Something I really don't recall ever seeing here. Guys, back to you.
I haven't either. It's weird, right?
I
Not
mean,
to
you
get
gotta
all.
you got to transport gotta transport the ammo somehow, I guess.
Well, that video has been scrubbed.
Has it?
You can't find it anywhere. I'm the only guy that has it. I recorded it when it was live on TV.
Interesting.
I got this new Haystack News app. It gives you all the news. But anyways, just weird shit's going on out there, and but me and Marco, I think we're here to give you some comic relief and some relief, and maybe instead of watching all these videos of the protests, and maybe you should just come hang out with us, man. Smoke a little weed, and you've had enough tonight. You've had enough this week. America's in chaos, but we're going to leave you tonight with just a girl riding a bicycle. I mean, what else can we do?
Listen, we do this show for free. We charge you nothing. You get what you paid for.
Vietnam bamboo trap, not in the rules. These dead zones are getting people killed. Yeah, it's weird. Things are weird, but I don't think Marco can see the girl's boobies. Hold on. I mean, come on. We got to be able to. There we go. I mean, what do I want in life? I want to go on a bike ride with this girl every day. That's all I want.
Is that too much to ask?
Is it too much? Maybe ask for some sunscreen awareness. It's hot out there.
It's only getting hotter.
While you're biking, maybe, enjoy some sunscreen. Look at her. She's smiling on her face, having the time of her life, riding a bike. Nothing sexual here, boys. Just a little treat before we let you go.
Yep. This is what we could be. This is what we could be enjoying right now instead of protesting.
Yeah. And I think they're real.
Looks real to me.
A lot of jigglies. I don't like them jiggly. You know what? I like them anyway. I'm going to put it out there. I know I'm going to wrap us up here. Close. 2 minutes.
Give me a 2-minute tangent here.
All right. I don't care what chicks' tits look like. I'm going to be honest. I don't care if they're small, if they're big. Because, I don't know. It's like a birthday card. Tits.
My only stipulation is that your tits have to be at least bigger than mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a birthday card. Yeah, you'll open them up, you'll play with it a little bit, look at it, but you really want the gift. And the gift is below the waist, not above. If you know what I'm saying, boys.
The tits are the bow.
All right, enough. I've done enough to my poor Marco tonight. I've scarred this young man's mind enough.
Well, I mean, I've also scarred your mind with the Mass Effect trilogy, so it's only fair, I guess.
That's still the best. I love it. Yeah,
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
really, I'm having a great time with the broadcast this week. I want to thank everybody for listening. The numbers were great this week. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely making progress, and we actually made some money on Rumble. Some fucking how we actually did it.
Yep, we made 18 cents last month. And that's not from super chats. That's just from hard work.
Yep, from hard work, from advertising, and just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. We made a whole 18 cents, and we will not stop until we make at least 20 cents.
And you know, we make money. You know what you do at home is you download the Rumble app onto your Roku device or your smart TV.
Mm-hmm.
You type in MHH Network, all one word. You see the nice little chrome letters MHH there. You subscribe. And then what you do is before you go to work, you just press play and you leave. And it just plays our shit all day. And it plays all the ads, pro-Trump ads, and we're selling a lot of flashlights.
Yeah, pro-Trump ads and flashlights and survivalist gear and all that fun jazz. So if you are one of those survivalist woodsy types, then they've got all the products you need. And if you're not, then it has all the products that you have to make memes to make fun of.
Oh my God, the shit that they sell, the Trump coin, the Trump...
Yeah, the Trump coin, the Trump fucking NFTs, the fucking... but I love the ones that are like the flashlight. It's a flashlight where it's like, oh, it's a flashlight, but it's also a fishing rod, and it does Morse code, and it can wipe your ass. Like,
I saw one of the flashlights that's lighting walls on fire now with flashlights.
Yeah, you could like condense it to a fucking laser. You could burn your fucking house down.
Great. Well, I'm glad we're slinging some quality merch.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Unlike YouTube, they have some quality products on Rumble.
Only the good stuff, boss. Only the good stuff. Like what we mentioned earlier, check us out every Monday on Twitch. You hook up with Marco over at MarCovee 193 on Twitter, on Twitch. He's everywhere, is Marco.
Yes. And also add Marijuana Happy on X as well if you want to message Johnny and tell him how much our show sucks. We already know. That's the whole point. Congratulations, you're now in on the joke.
Yes, we've decided to make the worst podcast in the history of podcasting.
Because it's just so much easier. It's so much easier when you just give up.
Yeah, and none of you get the joke. That's what's wrong. You guys got no sense of humor.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're all just so low. The fruit that you pick is so low. We're just so much smarter than you. We're so smart. We've come full circle to being retarded again.
Have you listened to the whole show? Well, that's on you, my friend. You could have hit stop a long time ago.
I'm trying to make this show at least somewhat more sophisticated, and I fail miserably every time.
Yeah, two stoned guys on subpar equipment. It should be called.
Yeah, two stoned subpar equipment. Yeah, that's basically it. We had to shorten it though because it was too mouthy. So two stoned. Yeah, that works.
Maybe we should change it to two broke guys.
Oh yeah, because that'll definitely work well. It's not like it would seem like we're ripping off that fucking TV show. There's like, oh no, it's actually worse.
No, we actually are two broke guys.
Yeah, no, we are actually two broke guys. This isn't funny. Give us your money.
Yeah, our female demographic just isn't catching back up.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, we have a woman up on screen. What else do you want us to do?
women's rights. I mean, she really does have some nice teeth. I mean, her teeth. That's my friends. By the way, brush your teeth every night. Dental hygiene really goes a long way.
She has the right to ride that bicycle whenever, wherever, and however she pleases.
You know, maybe if the people of looks like she's riding an old sack in Sacramento would fix the roads, it wouldn't be so bouncy without the potholes there. She would have nipple chafing after her relaxing bike ride.
I thought you would want the roads to be bumpier.
Well, I do, but
but it's not about me. That's
no.
Who do you think I am?
It's about the people in the poor streets of Sacramento. Old Sac, they call it. All right, don't forget to check out Johnny's Picks, MHH Johnny's Picks on Spotify and YouTube Music.
Yes, sir.
And check out the network for this week's schizophrenic programming.
There's a lot of schizophrenic YouTubers and internet programmers out there, but not like this.
No, one night I'm a newsman, the next night telling fart jokes. You never know. You never know what you're gonna find.
You get a little bit of everything.
Maybe we'll just change it to bipolar radio.
Why not? You do one show where you just stark raving mad, and then another one where you're actually happy, and then another one where you're sad, and then another one where you're just neutral. Where you're just like, oh no, shit's on fire, but that happens all the time. Whatever.
Yeah, you can take it, you can leave it. You know, it's a slippery slope. Whatever.
I mean, whatever. I'm not in California anyway, so fuck it.
All right. Well, I've kept Marco hostage long enough tonight. I'm going to let him go back out of the wilderness and hunt for berries and timber wolves.
Freedom, sanctuary.
You're okay, Johnny. It's to you.
Sucking my dick.
You're okay, Johnny.
I do love that clip.
We'll talk about it next week, but on the Bonfire Day, Yakov Smirnov was on, the Russian comedian.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
He was roommates with Andrew Dice Clay for 2 years. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhat familiar with that story, but yeah, we could talk about it further next week. It's a good story.
All right, everybody. Shout out to our big buddy over on That's All Funny.
Dime hidden for decades.
And Nas, check him out. Nas Redna, one everywhere.
Whereabouts had remained
.com even.
late 1970s.
Yes,
just sold
especially follow him on Rumble. We have more of a Rumble audience, so go follow Nas Redna on Rumble. The dude needs it.
All right, my man, you get
subscribe to
a 6-day break. Not listen to my stupid ass. And thank you, Pause, brother. Pause Reality.
Yes, thank you, Pause. Thank you, Nas. Thank you, Lorenzo. I thought I had a thing there.
That's the real dimes you need, right? You don't need fucking Franklin D. Roosevelt. You need that. You need that.
I know I say this every time, but this is quite possibly the greatest thing I've ever done.
Fucking the Gettysburg Address and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's fucking Chong, dude. You got Chong.
Underground.
He sounds like Chong.
One of these days I need to hit up Lorenzo. Like, you need to do more weed days for like a week so I can actually turn this into a song.
Okay, how is it possible for a man? How is it possible for a man
underground
with 5,000
shit?
friends?
You know what I'm saying? You need to smoke that. You need to fucking.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that's what you. That's what you fucking need. Whatever, man.
So how do we have access to 13,000 people and zero watch?
Sells for over $500,000.
Facebook. How is that possible without being shadow banned?
Whereabouts had remained a mystery.
Not
since
one?
the 1970s has just sold
Out of 13,000 people around the world, not one saw the show tonight.
You got that sticky icky.
Yeah, we're definitely shadow banned. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I'm sure we got shadow banned before we even hit double digits of this fucking show.
Subscribe to that so funny.
Not one person out of 13,000 accidentally hit the link.
I'm sure at least half of your Facebook friends are either dead or bots, if not 80% of them.
Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Twitch. Facebook. Explain yourself. All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out, and maybe stay away from that. Stay away from that restaurant for the time being.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, maybe go to the restaurant across the street, or you just do like that one comedy bit where he's like, "Oh yeah, really? You want to kick my ass? All right, man, let's go." And you just look over at the dude next to you, like, "I'm wearing a red shirt and white shoes."
Abraham Lincoln.
Alright, man. I'll catch you Monday for more Mass Effect. Probably maybe the conclusion of Mass Effect 2. We'll see.
Yeah.
Underground Railroad shit.
Railroad shit. It makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Seinfeld episode. It makes me laugh every time. Whatever, man.
A rare time hidden for decades.